if I read long enough.
It's been said that with schizophrenia, you're not social. Generally, you won't be social. I was diagnosed with schizophrenia by this crazy, she was the one that was crazy. She was hyped up on probably, I don't know, a bunch of amphetamines or whatever. Her pupils were like, her pupils were like pinpoints practically in her eyes. They were crazy looking. And she was like, "You need to do this, McLeod." She was like some, Czechoslovakian or one of those
East European
accents. But she diagnosed me with that because of how in this society could you not diagnose somebody who is seeing reality for what it is? How could you not diagnose them with craziness when they are saying, "This is crazy, man. We're living in a weird, we're living in a crazy world, dude. Our whole government's upside down. The whole way we look at things is wrong." And then it's like, he must be crazy, dude, because we're the ones that are sane.
According to the consensus.
According to the consensus of the insane people, we're all sane. You're not. According to the
consensus.
It's like, we live in a society where everything, the matrix itself, is founded or run by crazy people. Or the history. I mean, even the history itself is schizophrenic. We have all people are born equal, but black people
are 3/5 of a person, except when they're not.
It's insane, and that was in the beginning, and we've progressively gotten worse and worse with the whole thing with psychiatry and psychology,
eugenics.
I mean, there's so many things that are just wrong, just totally wrong, and then the view is drugs are bad unless we sanction them, and the ones that we sanction are usually basically poisons with names that sound like fucking
poisons.
No, they sound like characters in like
anime.
Voltron, or it's like what is it? The one with the cars. Transformers. It's silly as shit, and then we have these plants that exist which we've made illegal.
We deemed illegal.
Yeah.
Deemed bad for you.
Deemed bad for us and illegal, and yet anything that we synthesize is at least, I mean, the stuff that we synthesize can literally kill people.
And yet it's hailed as a miracle.
You can't overdose on weed, man. You can't overdose on weed, and we have that as an illegal drug. And yet, people that have that perspective are fucking either idiots, hippies,
pill poppers,
any of the anybody that takes weed, anybody that smokes weed or says that it should be legal, even if you don't take it, you're looked at as a fucking moron, or you're just whatever. A stone. Oh, fuck you. It's maddening to the nth degree that this is the way it is, and so anybody who actually makes this observation is then, first of all, a threat to the status quo, and then second of all, crazy, because with the mirror of our society, anybody that speaks the truth is a madman or a liar. Anybody who's trying to really help. And then the other thing is the biggest question that anybody will ever ask you if you have this kind of urge, this kind of perspective is, how are you going to make money with this? And it's like, don't you get it? Life isn't about that, man. I don't even care if I necessarily survive. the important thing is getting this information out there, because if it does seep into the minds of people that don't already have it, especially, that's what's important. It doesn't the whole idea of you have to conform in order to survive. It's like, first of all, not necessarily. People have survived for thousands of years without this structure and without money. You can build a house. Houses grow on trees, basically. I mean, I don't know. I guess the society itself is schizophrenic and principally based off of schizophrenic ideas. Do you want to go to economics?
Yeah, I just checked the time. 10 minutes.
It smells funny.
Probably because you just sprayed that. You could talk about economics, actually.
Economics. Well, I don't believe in the kind of economics we have, is the thing. And that would probably run over time anyway.
Yeah.
Economics is an idea that we created. So, I mean, what's the
Not only is it an idea that we created, it's an idea that we created and is supposed to explain human behavior, yet we dismiss the bad elements of human behavior.
Yeah.
Thus,
I mean, the idea of having a war on drugs is like having a war on human nature, is the thing. Having a war on drugs is like having a war on human nature, and as soon as you have a war on human nature, isn't that having a war on us? Having a war on the citizenry, the people. And I think the problem with that is we aren't, those people who do the drugs aren't viewed as citizens, as legitimate people, as whatever. They must not be if there's a war on drugs. How many people smoke weed? The number of people and the percentage of people who have done or who will do or who continue to do that drug are fucking immense, and yet we still have it not only illegal, but we enforce its illegality, and we still have this war on these drugs. And I think if you legalize the drugs and then you regulate them, there isn't any gangster element in it. I mean, the inevitability is that a lot of drugs will be made legalized, except I don't think probably acid won't, just because it's so powerful. But it's ridiculous. I think this is going to be a number